Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about becoming a more consistent trumpet player by developing consistency in your approach. Coming right up. How many of you guys out there on this pendulum swinging back and forth between great days on the horn and bad days, and you don't know what the hell is going on, right? One day you feel like a god, like you can play anything, and then the next day you can't play anything, right? I have a couple of things that you can pay more attention to that usually aren't talked about once we get past the early stages of playing. And I find them extremely valuable in both my teaching and my own troubleshooting and my playing for the past many years. So I'm excited to share these two things to you. They won't be a big surprise, but I might talk about them a little bit differently than you've heard them discussed in the past. The first thing I want to talk about is posture. It's not just as simple as standing up or sitting up straight, really, because if we make an effort to stand up straight, we can get a lot of tension in the shoulders and in the neck and all this other stuff. So I got an interesting way for you to think about it now. I want you to think about that you have a string coming out of the top of your head and somebody's going to pull you up by that string in the back of the top of your head, like this. It will pull you up straight, okay? We want to feel the weight of the body on the balls of the feet. So the way we're going to stand is we're going to put our feet about shoulder width apart, okay? You can have your feet kind of pointing outwards a little bit, you know. Like Adam Rappa says, you want to be able to slip a credit card underneath the heels of your feet when you're standing, okay? You want to feel that weight on the front, and you want to have your knees unlocked. We want unlocked knees, and we want to feel that weight in the front so we feel more active through here, okay? I don't want to talk too much about the blowing muscles and all that stuff that's involved here, but basically the muscles we use to blow the instrument are the same muscles that we would use to shout across the street, right? I mean, if you're going to shout to your friend across the street, when you take that breath, you can feel your midsection kind of preparing to project your voice across the street. So that's all I want you to think about. I don't want you to think about intercostal muscles and all this stuff. If you want to think about something, think about your solar plexus. Think about this area right below your sternum bone, okay? Behind that area has one of the strongest muscles in the body that is what I call the coughing muscle, okay? And this muscle is extremely powerful and designed by nature to eject debris from your lungs. This is the muscle in the area where we have all of our power. So when we lean forward a little bit on the balls of the feet, you can really feel this becoming, I want to say activated. It's not really engaged, but you become aware of it. It's on standby. It's ready to do its job. If your legs are locked, if your knees are locked, and all your weight is on your heels, then this kind of turns to jello, okay? So we want this on standby. And then we bring the horn to our face, okay? Simple. Like we're standing here, like ready to catch a football or a frisbee or something. And then we just raise the trumpet to the face, okay? With the arms slightly out, okay? We don't want the arms tight into the body like this. If we have the arms tight into the body, then we can't feel the body doing what it needs to do to blow, right? I mean, like you play the trumpet with the torso, right? You don't play the trumpet with your arms or your legs. We play it with our upper body. Okay, so now for the sitting part, okay? When we sit down to play, we want to keep the upper body identical as it is when you're standing, identical, okay? So we only want to bend at the waist when we sit. So that's going to pretty much put us on the edge of the chair. You want your butt on the chair, the rest of your legs are off the edge of the chair, okay? So I'll give you a front view first, okay? So I'm going to keep my upper body exactly the same, and then I'm going to be seated. And now I'm on the edge of the chair, okay? I'll turn around. You can see that my body is away from the chair, and I have this curvature in my lower back, okay? This is really, really important. The curvature in your lower back is gonna kind of confirm that your body is in the right position to blow as it would if you were standing, okay? standing, sitting. If you sit like this, then you'll have all of the same resources available to blow. It should feel just like standing. Okay, so now that we've covered the posture, I want to talk about the second P, which is placement. Placement of the mouthpiece, okay? This is really crucial, and again, it's something that people really don't think about after they've passed the beginning stages of playing, and that can end up being a really big mistake for the following reasons, okay? From day to day, our chops feel different. Some days we have a heavy playing day, we wake up the next day, we feel kind of swollen, stiff, whatever. If we have a different feeling, then sometimes it's easy to misplace the mouthpiece on the chops. It's not in the spot where it belongs, right? It starts to migrate elsewhere, and it does so very, very slowly. You don't even notice, okay? Because you're swollen, beaten up from the other day, chapped lips, whatever. And then the mouthpiece begins to migrate to the wrong place. And we can get away with this for a little while, and then suddenly we wake up and we can't really play anything, and we don't know what's going on.
You suck! You're no talent! If you really had talent, go practice and then get yourself a gig!
Okay, it happens on every level, and I don't see anybody making videos about this, okay? So we have to consistently place the mouthpiece, and in doing so, we have to understand where is the mouthpiece going to work the best. Now, my friend Charlie Porter has a lot of great videos. I'm going to put a link in the description below about how to form an embouchure and where the best buzzing surface is, okay? I can describe it this way, okay? Your natural lip aperture is what you have to figure out first, okay? Where is your natural lip aperture? For me, my face is not symmetrical at all. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if my mother was smoking when she was pregnant with me or what, but like, I'm not symmetrical in the face at all. One nostril's bigger than the other. It's not pretty. I also have like this Rocky Balboa, talking out one side of my mouth thing. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, that's what I got. You have to find your own lip aperture. For me, okay, just to show you, my lip aperture, my natural lip aperture, if I was to just blow like I'm cooling off soup or hot coffee, my natural lip aperture happens slightly to the right. So if I'm like cooling something off, like, the hole in my lips is actually centered over my right front tooth. It's not dead center, okay? But that's where my natural lip aperture is. That's where my lip aperture is without any weird manipulation. Okay, so the right mouthpiece placement for me is directly centered over that natural lip aperture, because the natural lip aperture for every person is going to be where you're most quickly going to get the ease of vibration in the lips, okay? This is where we're all going to have our best vibration surface, right there where the natural lip aperture occurs. And everybody can find this by just making believe that they're cooling off soup and looking in the mirror, and then you can see where yours is, okay? So, I mean, some people will find where that is, and they will take like one of those really small coffee straws and stick it into wherever that natural lip aperture forms, and then they'll slide the mouthpiece over that. This is also a great way to kind of figure out where your ideal playing set is. Basically, that's where you want the mouthpiece to be at all times. And sometimes, like I said, you'll have a hard playing day and you won't be able to find that spot. You'll misplace it, and you'll continue to misplace it, and then you'll fish around for weeks or months, and then suddenly nothing's going to work in articulation. Everything's going to become a problem. Response. Another thing, as I've gotten older, my teeth are shifting. When I was younger, I had braces, and then when they removed the braces, they cemented a metal retainer into my bottom, behind my bottom teeth. And I lived with that in my mouth for about 15 years. And at an audition, actually, I can't remember which one, the night before my audition, I was brushing my teeth and the metal retainer came loose on one side. It came unglued. And I panicked. I didn't know what I should do, if I should leave it like that because it was kind of flapping around in my mouth. So I decided to rip it out, rip off the other side. And then a lot of weird shit started happening. Like, I didn't realize that my tongue kind of was tuning into where that piece of metal was as like home base for the preceding 15 years. And then when the metal was gone, my tongue was kind of lost in my mouth and was retracting and ending up in places it shouldn't. Which, you know, was very hard to like correct that. But then beyond that, after the retainer was out for a while, my bottom teeth started to flatten out. Instead of being rounded as they were when the retainer was in there, they started to flatten out in the bottom. And that's where that's where our set is. So that made placing the mouthpiece feel odd, right? And you know, it's happened to me several times, you know, where the mouthpiece will start to migrate to a different place without my knowledge, I'm not aware of it until it becomes, things get so weird that I'm like, you know, what the hell is going on here? So another issue that can happen with mouthpiece placement is we have like a lateral movement of the chops before we set the mouthpiece. Like the chops or the jaw is like going from one side to the other, and you're not placing the mouthpiece on a neutral set. It's like a little bit like this, like this. I want you to think about your mouthpiece placement as a bridge connecting two important cities, okay? One city is your body, the other city is your instrument, okay? Do you want like a flimsy tropical rope style bridge that sways in the wind? Or do you want like a steel, bridge, a steel frame bridge that's like, super solid and can take, big trucks and stuff going over it? That's how you should think about your mouthpiece placement, because that is how you are interfacing the trumpet to your body, right? This is where you connect the instrument to your face. And you have to be consistent about that if you want to become a consistent player. Now, like I said, my friend Charlie Porter has a bunch of great videos. They'll be linked in the description. And he actually has videos of like Wynton setting up to play and a lot of other great players. And they do pretty much all the same thing, right? They say basically the letter M, they say the letter M, they roll in slightly, very slightly, like M, not like that, okay? Just M, and then they hide the red, okay? Then they place the mouthpiece, and then boom, they play. I play exactly like this. I show you the letter M. Okay? Sorry about the practice meet. My neighbors would not like that. So guys, that's it. These are the two really important things that I get a lot of value out in my teaching and my personal playing, troubleshooting stuff. Posture and placement of the mouthpiece. Don't forget about these things. They could be messing you up. Maybe you'll discover something. I hope this will be a gateway to reclaiming your confidence in your playing and being more vigilant in the future about these two things in your playing. Have a great day.